If you want to get much higher scores on your SAT or your ACT, you need a good prep system. And this doesn't really come as news to anyone because this is a multi-billion-dollar industry and millions of people each year sign up for some form of test prep. The problem is that when it comes to this process, you can go really right and you can go really wrong. So no matter what you choose for your test prep, there are two things more than anything else that you need to look for. And of course, this might seem a little bit self-serving because I'm a tutor and I sell my own program, but no matter whether you work with me or someone else or choose another program, you need to look for just two things that are extremely universal. The first, no matter what, is results. The only reason that you're prepping for the SAT and the ACT is to get higher scores. And not just higher scores, but much higher scores. If you go up by 1 point on the ACT after a couple months of prep, or if you go up by, 40 points on the SAT, it's just not going to make a difference in your college application. Yes, you technically improved, but not by enough to actually move the needle or get you into a better school than you were already going to get into. So you need hundreds of points on the SAT. You need 4 or 5 points on the ACT if you really want to budge your application into the next college tier. So if you're looking at any sort of test prep option, whether it's a tutor, whether it's a class, an online course, no matter what it is, make sure that they have a proven, verifiable track record of impressive results. So that doesn't just mean that everyone goes up, right? You don't want to just go for that. You want to go for someone who has a posted average or a posted range that they talk about and make very public, and also that it's verified, right? Anyone could say that they've raised student scores by a certain amount, so you want to make sure that some sort of, third independent body has verified those scores, and also that they have a ton of references and testimonials. Unless the person or the company or the program you're choosing has a ton of students and they've all done really well, and you know that that's true, then you want to run for the hills, because it doesn't matter how great the graphic design is on their website, or whether, they went to an Ivy League college, or no matter what the qualifications are, they don't really matter. What matters is that they'll raise your scores by a lot. And if they don't do that, don't go with it. If they do have that going for them, then you should definitely consider it, because that's the most important thing. The only other thing that I'd really recommend, there are a lot of factors, but this is the really, really essential one, is flexibility. The best students always prep lightly and consistently over the long term, rather than doing these sort of insane crash courses that a lot of people sell. So if you give me one student who studies Spanish for 10 hours a day for 10 days straight, and another student who studies Spanish for half an hour a day for 200 days straight, I will take the latter student every single time. Your brain enjoys light, consistent repetition. That's how you learn best. It's how you learn anything best. So you want to make sure that no matter what you choose, whether it's a course or a tutor, they're able to work with you lightly and consistently over the long term. You really, really don't want to sign up for some crazy crash course. You don't want to sign up with a tutor who can only meet you Tuesdays from 4 to 6 and not until the next week. You need something that'll allow you to prep when you can prep, when you want to prep, when you feel like it, and when it works for you. So if you want to do 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the afternoon, you need something that'll be able to work with you on that schedule so you can spread things out, make it stress-free, make it light, and make it consistent, because you want to be prepping every single day. Let's say you go on spring break and you're traveling for 10 days. Well, obviously a tutor can't come with you. You can't go to a class. But does the program you're working with allow you to maybe sign on for 15 minutes before you go to the beach, another 15 minutes later in the evening before you go out with your friends? If you find a program that just allows you to prep on your terms, on your schedule, no matter where you are, and allows you to do that long-term light prep that really leads to huge score improvements, you're going to be really well off. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of things you can look for, but results and flexibility are the two that really make the biggest difference. If you find those two in your program, you're good to go. If you don't, you need to keep looking and make another choice.